Hi, today I'm going to explain the movie, Now You See Me. The movie is about four horsemen. They are magicians. They were showing their magic tricks in small cities, and then their lives completely changed, and they became popular worldwide. Let's start the movie. As the movie starts, we see one of the magicians. His name is Daniel, and he is showing his magic to the people by playing cards. A girl selects a card, and he shows her card 7 diamonds on a tower with his magic trick. In the next scene, we see Merritt, who is a hypnotizer. He hypnotizes a man and gets money from him. After this, we see the third horseman, Jack, who is showing his magic tricks on a boat. And the fourth horseman is Henley, and she is performing her magic in Los Angeles. She is going to unlock herself in a tank. A mysterious man is keeping an eye on all of them. The mystery about this mysterious man is revealed at the end of the movie. We see these four get the cards. There is an eye symbol on those cards. There is an address and a date is mentioned on these cards. They reach a building whose address is mentioned on the card. Jack breaks the lock of the building. When they go inside, they find a rose and a jug of water. As Henley puts the rose inside, the water smoke is produced. Merritt touches the bulb, a projector turns on. There was the design and detail of the show on it. Then we see them in Vegas working together after a year. Daniel tells the audience that we are going to rob a bank tonight. All the people get excited after hearing this. They choose a man from the audience. His name is Etienne. They take the bank details and call him on the stage. Merritt and Jack make him wear a helmet. Due to it, he will be connected with this show. Daniel gives a card to the man on the stage. He asks him to sign the card and place it in his pocket with the ticket. Henley takes a teleportation machine on stage through her magic. Now they send the man to the bank in Paris through a teleportation machine. The man really disappears from the stage. After some time, we see the man in the locker of the bank in Paris, where there is about 3 million euros. Daniel asks him to place the signed card and the ticket of the show on the money. Then, he presses a button with his helmet. The money goes to the ventilation pipes, and then it moves to the place where the show is going on. The hall is full of money. On the other hand, when the bank opens, they don't find the money. But there is the signed card and the ticket for the show. The police arrest them because of the robbery. They become famous because of robbery. The audience shower honor upon them. An FBI agent, Dylan, and an Interpol agent, Almadre, investigate the bank robbery. They are investigating the man who is used by magicians in robbery. Alma tells him that the magicians hypnotized the man during the show. He is still hypnotized. After it, they start investigating the horsemen, one by one. But the horsemen make them fool with their magic tricks, and Daniel steals Dylan's phone. The police couldn't get any evidence against them. The police has to leave them. Dylan wants to solve this case at any cost. As he comes to know the magician Thaddeus, who exposes the magicians, was in this show, so he goes to take help from Thaddeus. During their conversation, we come to know about Lionel Shrike. He was a great magician, and his career was destroyed when Thaddeus exposed him. But he didn't lose hope, and he started making new tricks. While performing a trick, Lionel Shrike died one day by drowning in a river. After it, Thaddeus explains to them how horsemen robbed that bank. He tells them they have already hypnotized the man, from whom they take the details of the bank. The same copy was made of the bank under the stage. The money which disappeared from the bank came here. Thaddeus says that the money was robbed during the transfer time. The duplicate money was placed in return. The duplicate money they placed there was made of fire paper. It means they will burn easily and disappear from there. Now we see Merritt and Henley. Merritt asks Henley about Daniel. He asks her, "Do you like Daniel?" Merritt says, "I can help you in this matter." The scene shifts, and we see Dylan and Alma in a plane. She is playing with cards and impresses Dylan with a trick. Dylan and Alma are going to catch horsemen red-handed. They are making plans to catch them. Alma tells him maybe there is a fifth horseman behind them. In the next scene, we see Thaddeus and Arthur. Arthur is a huge businessman and also helping horsemen. Arthur stops Thaddeus to expose the horseman and offers him a check, but Arthur refuses to do so, and Arthur burns the check and leaves from there by warning him. Thaddeus goes to the horsemen and talks to them, but the horsemen see through his plan and say to him that, "We know, you want to expose us." They make him fool with their magic tricks, and Thaddeus leaves from there. After it, we see horsemen in a new show. They call a businessman, Arthur, in the show for their trick. Merritt asks the people in the show to check their bank balances. After it, Henley brings a huge check. The amount that is in Arthur's private bank account is mentioned on it. It is approximately $140 million. Merritt again asks the people in the show to check their bank balances. Surprisingly, their bank balances are increasing. Now the amount the people on the show get the same amount from Arthur's account is decreasing. Like this, the people in the show get all the money. Arthur's balance gets zero. Now horsemen say that the people in the show are called willingly. The people face loss because of the natural disaster. When they went to claim for insurance, they didn't get the insurance money. This insurance company was of Arthur. That's why all the money from his bank account is given to those people. Telling all these, horsemen vanish from there. Dylan and Alma go behind them, but they escape from there successfully. After this, we see Arthur and Thaddeus. Arthur asks Thaddeus to expose them and I will give you money in return. Thaddeus demands $5 million. After it, Alma tells him about the iMagicians community. They rob the money from the rich and give it to the poor. They also stop the evil tasks in the world. She tells him the community includes 2 magicians in their community every 100 years. She says I think, maybe, those horsemen want to be a part of the I community. That's why they are doing this. During it, we see Dylan's phone is showing some error. As he checks his phone, he comes to know that it is not his phone. All the messages and calls on this phone were traced. After the investigation, Dylan gets their address. Before Dylan arrives there, those horsemen remove their evidence. Only Jack is left there and he is burning some papers. The other 3 horsemen moved from there. Meanwhile, Dylan comes there, and they start fighting. But Jack successfully runs from there with the papers. All the FBI cars are following Jack's car, because they want to hold Jack and want to take those papers from him, which he had in his hands. Suddenly, Jack's car gets into an accident, and he dies. Dylan immediately takes those documents from his car, and then the car blasts. Dylan comes to know from those papers that, now the horsemen will rob a private security constructor. They come to know the whole money is in a secure locker. When they reach there, they find the house empty. Through investigation, they come to know that Dylan's boss has given permission to transfer the box. It means those horsemen have hypnotized his boss. As Dylan searches for the truck, in which there was the box, they see this is the wrong locker, and there were only balloons in this locker. Then, we see those horsemen in a video. They are telling people about their new in the last show, and this show will be free, so everyone can come to watch it. The FBI team also goes to their show. Magicians do live broadcast inside the building. The show is going on in the building through a projector. Then they go to the roof of the building, and the FBI goes there to hold them. But the FBI couldn't hold them because they were just mannequins. They see that those magicians were on the top of another building. They talk to people and then they jump from the building. They were also not really here. They were just projectors. Meanwhile, the money flies from there. Then we see they are running from the backside of the building. All people were collecting the money. But an FBI agent sees that the money was duplicate. Then we see Thaddeus, who was going towards his car. As he unlocks his car, the money comes out of his car. Then the police arrest Thaddeus. Dylan comes to meet Thaddeus in jail. Thaddeus says to Dylan, I know how the magicians did this. He says Jack is also not dead, he is alive. He tells him the car in which Jack was running, and the car the FBI was chasing, was another car. Then he tells him that when you see there is no locker in the warehouse, that was just a scam. It means they have adjusted a mirror in front of the locker. That's why you feel the warehouse is empty. He tells him when you went to search for the other locker, Jack came there, he broke the mirror and the locker. He took all the money. Dylan says to him, how can one act on one's death? They don't even keep the money? Thaddeus says this is the only thing that I couldn't understand. Dylan says to Thaddeus, now I understand the whole story. He says to him maybe someone has taken revenge on him. The revenge on Lionel Shrike, whom you exposed and have destroyed his life. He tells him that Elkhorn Company makes locker of cheap quality steel, due to which Lionel Shrike died. After the death of Lionel Shrike, the company of Arthur didn't claim the insurance for his family. That's why the horseman has also taken out the money from Arthur's account. These horsemen have taken revenge on Lionel Shrike while robbing all of them. They all have trapped you. After this, when Thaddeus turns back to say something, suddenly, Dylan comes out of jail, and the mystery of the movie is revealed that he is the fifth horseman. We also come to know that Dylan is the son of Lionel Shrike. He has done all this for his family's revenge on them. The mysterious man, whom we saw at the start of the movie, who was keeping an eye on them. He was the man. Now we see the four horsemen go to Los Angeles. When they reach there, they find the door is locked. Then we see Jack. He unlocks the door and they find a tree of Lionel Shrike. There is an eye symbol on it, As they put their cards on it, they see all the lights, songs, and swings turn on. Here they meet Dylan. Seeing him, they become happy and they understand Dylan has called them together. Dylan is the fifth horseman and he also works for the Eye community. Dylan welcomes them in the Eye community. In the next scene, we see Dylan and Alma. She knows that Dylan is the son of Lionel Shrike and the fifth horseman. Dylan tells him the whole story and asks her to reveal his mystery, but she refuses to do so, because she loves him and Dylan also loves her. They lock the lock at the Love Bridge, and throw the key in the river. In this way, the movie ends. Bundles of thanks for watching.